Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Hey, raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up. West side, raise it up. 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 North side, raise it up. South side, raise it up. East side, raise it up. The west side, raise it up. 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 Hey loves, hey loves, hey loves, hey loves. My name is Waren Vaughn. I also go by Y, and you are tuned in right now to Raise It Up Y, the podcast. Oh, I wanted to do that song that we had.
I recorded it.
We go. Go. I can't remember how it goes because it's like vibe. Oh yeah. Oh, this is Wendy making a song out of something that one of the loves said. I yell a lot. So high. Vibing so high. I should be asleep right now, but I'm vibing tonight. Yes. Okay. So, if you're wondering what all that chaos was, we are coming at you the last Thursday of January 2022. What you don't know is we were supposed to have taped and started taping hours, not just a few hours, many hours ago. And we got on live to do a pregame on my @Wyanna, WYANNA platform on Instagram. And everything you just heard out of Onette's phone ensued for about 2 and some change hours. However, let me give you a little opening 2022 vibe, courtesy of @IamWendy with an I, and what is his name? Davon Calder, I think his name. He's a new love, so I just met him tonight on this Instagram live that we did in the Love Lounge. So it goes. I should be asleep right now, but I'm vibing so hard. I should be asleep right now, but I'm vibing with Y. I should be asleep right now, but I'm vibing so hard. I should be asleep right now, but I'm vibing tonight. I hope you guys can hear that my voice is extremely tired because I was yelling with my sister to the point where I re-aggravated my scar tissue in my lip. And if I trouble my words a bit just from tripping on the swollenness of this lip, please forgive me. And just know that we were having fun when I was getting into trouble with this lip. This is episode 40, as we've already discussed. Our episode today is called What's My Motherfucking Name? R-U-L-E. It's not going to be the R-U-L-E part, though. But not just that. It could also be, what's my motherfucking name? Snoop Doggy Dogg. Yeah, we could do this a few ways. With as tired as my voice is, I'm sure everyone's wondering why I'm still yelling and singing. And I don't know the answer to that. So if you are a love onlooker on YouTube, I want to say hello. You see me waving. And thank you so much for subscribing, liking, hitting the bell, letting it be known that you get notified when we post anything new on here. Because we have them now, we're moving on up. If you are a love patron, whether you are subscribing to the general or the love level, because there's levels to love, huh? If you are on the love level, you are the shiznit, number one. If you are a love patron at all, I say thank you for subscribing to the Patreon that we've created for the new year. I told y'all last year it was coming. I was threatening it, and we'll probably talk about it more in the pay your dues. However, also, I want to say if you are listening to this podcast, wherever podcasts can be consumed, I want to say thank you so much for your non refundable time, for your listening, attention, and the fact that you're giving us energy that you can never spend again. It's not wasted on us that you're allowing us to provide you some sense of faith, because faith comes by hearing. Maybe faith for what this new year is going to bring you and it's what it's going to be. I hope you guys made resolutions, and I hope that by the time you hear this, you haven't already given up on them. I was talking to DJ Quick. You're gonna hear a lot of January names. Let's get a couple out right while we're here. If you look over my left shoulder, if you're one of the love onlookers on YouTube, or if you're listening, just know that over my left shoulder right now, I have a picture of Mr. Ninth Wonder, whose birthday was January 15th. We have beautiful love OG, whose birthday is today, right while we're recording, January 20th. That is Questlove. Questlove, we love you a lot. Tomorrow, the day after Questlove, is Rhapsody, and that's why also over my left shoulder, you see a Black woman created this tour book. I got the last one as well as her last hoodie, Rap, I Love You, to Life, to the stars and beyond, to the moon and back, and I will never still give you that hoodie because it's mine, but I love you so much. Oh my God. So if you look over my right shoulder, love onlookers, and if you're listening over my right shoulder, you just have to trust me that, number one, I don't have any nails right now, so my hands look like their name is Harold, but we're just going to let them rock, all right? Because I'm natural. Like, that was one of my New Year's things. I was like, oh, I want to be natural and shit. What a funny, beautiful woman I am. I almost broke a resolution that quick. Over my right shoulder, you will see Of the Soul Council, the baby of the Soul Council, that is a producer juggernaut force comprised of a bunch of Jamla producers under the wonderful leadership of Ninth Wonder. It includes a lot of gentlemen that produced on my album, one of which is Sndtrak, and his birthday is Sunday, the 23rd. Not to mention that Pops 1500, Rance's dad from 1500 or Nothing, is on the 27th. Not to mention the fact that Rance himself is February 1st. Not to mention that I skipped right over Quick, didn't I? Quick, I love you. Quick's birthday was on the 18th. My auntie Janice from Taste of Honey, Get Down, Boogie, Oogie, Oogie, or It's All Because of You. I'm feeling sad and blue. You walked away. Auntie Janice, her birthday was the 17th. Oh my God, not to mention that my aunt of the emotions, her birthday, Auntie Sheila Hutchinson, was the 17th. If you guys are getting dizzy in these birthdays, so what? I've been dizzy a lot this whole damn time, this whole damn month. Every time I turn around, you guys keep having birthdays, which I feel so proud about, because look at what we're celebrating. Birthdays, not death dates. Look at what we're celebrating. Look at the focus, ladies and gentlemen, okay? It's all a part of where we are going to be this year, this entire year. I just realized I was about to start going into February babies, and I'm not gonna do that because Aquarius energy doesn't know how to let me be, you know? Yep. I'm laughing because I just remembered that, of course, I'm recording with an Aquarian right now. I love these beautiful air signs that blow my flame. Pause, if that's applicable. But and on the 18th, Quavo, who just left. Quavo, who's also one of you guys' favorites in love culture, one of my former students and current mentee. His birthday was also the same day as DJ Quick's, which was the oh my God, and Alexandria for 1500 or nothing. First lady at 1500 or nothing. Her birthday was just yesterday, because technically it's what 1000 o'clock. Ha ha ha. So, all of that to say, she was 119. She was the day after Quickie and Quavo. All of that to say, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you guys fuck in April, because apparently that's when all these birthdays are coming out. Congratulations. I think he said it was April, right? May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Wait. Oh, January. Yeah, January, because people aren't pregnant till 10 months. Technically. So it's 40-week gestation. Technically it is, but we're not going to talk about it. Anyways, that has nothing to do with the name of this episode. The name of this episode is What's My Motherfucking Name? And what I thought would be important for the top of the year is to revisit number one, the first episode of last year, which was all about boundaries. We invited the masterminds for the first time onto our show. The masterminds is a group of us within love culture who are either trained or practicing therapists. And me and my friends got on here and we talked about boundaries, which I think is smart to start a year so you know more about where you are and where you need to allow others to be. And there's a separation, a benign, a beautiful separation that happens in that knowledge of what boundaries are. And it just keeps you responsible for you. It doesn't allow you to hold the baggage for other people's energy, up or down, good or bad, ugly or beautiful. It allows you to learn better and more intently how to own that which is of you. You know what I'm saying? Not of you, that which is you. Let me just not even put the of. That which is you, you know. So we will revisit that in a second. But before I start getting like dead ass into the episode, I feel like it would be really dope if we grounded ourselves. And in the grounding, some of you are new loves. And if you are, I am so excited to have you with us on this journey. This is the start of our 4th year. You serious? It is. This is the start of our 4th year. We only put out one episode a month, simply because there's a lot of shit out there to listen to. Let's keep it a bean. There's a lot out there to listen to. And if you are a new love, aka a supporter of this podcast and all things Waren Vaughn, you have 39 episodes to catch up on, and each of them over an hour. That's over a day of listening pleasure if you needed it. You had to dig me. And they all have episodes that are visual right here on YouTube if you're an onlooker. So go on back if you need. Catch up. Also, make sure you tune in to @Wyanna, WYANNA on Instagram every Tuesday, 6 p.m. on the West Coast, which some would call the best coast. Some. I pointed at myself. That's going to be what we call Love Tuesdays. And that happens on my platform, Wyanna, which is my personal / entertainment account, not my podcast account, @RaiseItUpY. We get together, we talk about concepts brought up right here on the podcast so that we don't just leave the content here in rhetoric or me leaving you gems at home to chew on theoretically. The practice piece to what we do here on this podcast, feeling it, acting it, living it, loving it, learning it, that's what we call love culture. And we all congregate together on @Wyanna, 6 p.m. on the West Coast every Tuesday. We've been doing it since 2020, going on 2 years. I just can't believe this time. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm inviting you to grounding as a trained therapist, not a practicing one. Grounding, let me inform you psychoeducationally, is where we separate whatever energy, whatever type of time, you was on right before you tuned into this wacky little woman we call Wyann. And that's called an alliteration. Wacky woman Wyann. Let's go. Why? Anyways, I know, right? I keep trying to like bring the energy down to like make it okay. I'm sorry. I'm amped. The coffee was amazing tonight. So we separate the energy of where you were and where you are so that we give your body, we give your psyche, we give your energetic capacity the opportunity to detach from anything, anywhere you were before you tapped into our world, to love culture, to this podcast. All right? So I would invite you to close your eyes if you have the capability to do so. If you're driving, I only say this because about 3 loves every few months tell me, yo, I almost closed my eyes while I was driving because your voice. Baby, listen. Don't let this buttery shit fool you. Stay safe on the road. No, but for real. I would love to invite you to close your eyes if you possess the capability and take a moment. Take a moment to be here with me. I want you to hear my voice. Put your consciousness right now in your feet. And to kind of really know that they're there, wiggle those toes. And if you really feel silly, how about you touch your nose for no reason at all? Well, none other than to recognize that you're here, you're present, you're alive in a whole new year. Breathe the breath in. Blow that breath out. Let's try that again. In through your nose. Out through your mouth. You're just taking a moment to own this. This miracle that we call life. That you are breathing and winning just by living this life. Hey, just by spending this time with my voice right now, you are investing into your betterment. I don't know, you think you should maybe sit with that and feel proud and welcome. Let's go up into this space here. Let's go up. High vibes, leveling up. Ladies and gentlemen, 2022, this whole focus point for this year is going to be about fine tuning. I hope Dave does that cool thing he's been doing where he like writes fine tuning, right? You know, this is when I wish I would have had those nails, right? To make it, my nails are perfectly fine. Let me fine tune myself right now. I can be Gerald by way of the. Okay, so this year is all about fine tuning, ladies and gentlemen. Fine tuning, meaning here at Raise It Up Why, we look to raise a few things, namely your self awareness, which we focused on in 2019. That's not true. Which we focused on in 2020, your self awareness, your vibrations, and your capacity for love, which is just knowledge. When I thought about love and self love, I thought about, bro, people tend to fall in some sort of love with things that they find to be worthy of love. So all of 2021, last year, we focused on self-worth. So I already captured the self-awareness piece in 2020. I captured the part about self-worth and self-love and the knowledge therein in 2021. So the theme, the overarching theme of this year is going to be raising your vibration. This is not a new concept to us, ladies and gentlemen. I actually wrote down all of the episodes and funnily, like really nicely, skipped over the boundaries episode. Huh? But the first time I can recall I started talking about levels to life. And it's sometimes harsh when you start talking about your levels in life. Some can find offense because it's almost like an implication that you're saying I'm better, as in higher on a pedestal. I make more. I look down at you, condescending, belittling. There's a bunch of words that we can start putting with what it feels like when people talk about being on a higher level or a lower level. And I hear all of those arguments. And what I'm offering is a new perspective on looking at the same thing. I'm offering a new perspective on looking at the same thing. I have the first song of my EP that came out in December of 2019. Starts with a little, I don't know, song rap thing. I'm an R&B singer, but I'm listed as a hip hop artist because hip hop is my home. R&B is what I do within hip hop. But in that confusing R&B slash hip hop song, New Page, she talks about being on a new page, a different story. It's a new space, a new place in my journey. I'm a new chick. A lot of y'all ain't never seen me before. You've heard me on a lot of things. You don't know why you know me, but a lot of you know me. So to most, I'm a new chick talking a different lingo. Dollars ain't shit but singles. Don't ask. I got tipped before people left with that damn reckless live earlier. Dollars ain't shit but singles. Holler at me with C notes. Why? Because I am more. I see more than what you're looking at. I see more. When I look in the mirror, I see more than what you're looking at. I eat more than what you're cooking. It's called fat. I be more. So shouts out to Be More. Ray Lewis music. This pen is loving my movement. And yo, you looking at me like you feeling me too. But boy, I would rather do me with all the things I've been through. Hey, it's a new day. If you want to holler at this scholar, then your book is going to need some new plays. I'm on a new page. Holler at this scholar, then your book, all right, okay. That literally is happening in the actual verse. So I bring that up though, because when we're talking about being on a new level, I really, I think I go over that very well on episode 16 called March Mindset Madness. Episode 16, March Mindset Madness. I believe that was right when the pandemic hit. No. Yes. It was because I was going to teach and I assigned my students that episode to watch. So March Mindset Madness must have happened 2020, clearly. It happened 2020. And my little brother was on the episode, Wava Life. Shouts out to Wava Life. I speak about vibrations and vibes again in episode 18 with mom. Some of you guys might not know my mom is named Waren Vaughn, formerly Wanda Hutchinson of a sister trio, Grammy Award winning, American Music Award winning. Whoa, you got the best of my love. Whoa. See, I did it low that time. I didn't try to reach for it because his voice stretch before you reach. But anyways, my mommy and her sisters, my aunties, that group is best known for the best of my love. And that episode 18 is called Best of My Love. And the Wyann's words of wisdom, that episode was called Harmony Only Works When You Stay on Your Note. Harmony in singing only works if you stay on your note, literally on the vibration. You have to hold one vibration for other singers to have a chorus with you, to sing in a trio, a duet, a rock band. I don't care where or what you are, literally in the world of vocals. And when you're looking to make harmony, you have to maintain your note. So if you don't understand who or what you are, it's challenging to remain you. How do you remain you if you never knew you? Right? So harmony only works when you stay on your note. That's episode 18. March Madness, once again, episode 16. The Wyann's Words of Wisdom was called Level Up. And I spoke about existing on floor 18 versus floor 8. And the big vibe of it was a person living on floor 18 talks to a person on floor 8 and feels confused most of the time, just considering, and mind you, this is any apartment building. I explained this better on the Wyann's Words of Wisdom on that episode. You can go back at your leisure. However, I'm giving you the cliff notes. When a person from floor 8 calls up to a person on floor 18 and says, yo, this is going on, that's going on, boy, what should I, how do you deal with stuff like this? The person on floor 18 says, bro, where I'm at, I don't even see what you see. I don't know how to navigate you through what I'm not on. I'm on a whole different level, literally. That call works in the reverse as well, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So, episode 30, which was my birthday, if I'm not mistaken, it's called Birthday Present. So, I'm pretty sure that was April of 2021. Excellence to an average excellence to an average mind gets called good. The idea being, think of genius level vibration. Oh my gosh, I learned something the other day from two functional medicine practitioners. Wish I could remember both of their names, so I don't want to misquote either one, but it was a YouTube video that my sister was putting on for my dad and me. Warren was there, but he wasn't watching it. Yes, he was. That's a lie. Warren, no wonder I said brother. All of us were there. All the Vaughn kids and my dad were at the Glendale house this day. And it was an Asian woman doctor speaking to a white male doctor. They've both called themselves, even though they studied as a medical doctor, and that's how they got their, practice, they ended up getting illnesses that regular Western medicine didn't know how to cure. It didn't even know how to classify it or work with it. And that's how both of them stumbled on this new way of being treated called functional medicine, if I'm not mistaken. I'll look that up for you again because it was good. I will send it to the angels. But these individuals talked about the first doctor that said doctors should wash their hands because doctors transferring bacteria from women who gave birth, new mothers, and the mothers were dying back to back to back. They were saying, man, something must be wrong with this. Something must be wrong with that, with this, with that. Turns out the doctor that said, bro, it might be us. I think we need to wash our hands. We need to sanitize between patients. This mofo didn't only get laughed out of the building, he got kicked out of the profession, ostracized, called names, pushed out because of the the demeanor of the Western medical profession. Said, our ego won't allow us to hear that we're the reasons these people are dying. Can't make it up. I'm just the messenger. Look the story up yourselves. However, I want to say 50 years later, and who knows how many deaths later, another medical professional, I want to say it was a nurse practitioner, but another medical professional was like, hey, yo, remember that one crazy, quote unquote, dude? The one that we said was nuts? Bro, he might have been onto something when he said us not washing our hands and not sanitizing is killing these women. And now, as we are still in a global pandemic, we are still in a global pandemic. Rest in peace to a few of my homies probably watching, and you know who you are, and I know which of your family members has passed, and I pray for you, and I love you, period. That point right there. But as we continue this global pandemic with less forcible restrictions, let me say, the absence of washing do you know Do you know how the type of irate I feel when I walk out of a bathroom in, of course, the women's bathroom or whatever, just from where I identify, and I walk out and I see people leaving without washing their hands? No mask on. I don't wash my hands. I almost said something off the fucking wall. I'll leave it alone. However, it's happened. Oh, and don't think it's in any sort of ghetto, this and that. No, no, no. Very affluent spaces. And I won't call out cities and zip codes and names out of respect for my city, LA. But use your imagination for what these individuals may have looked like. So, excellence to an average mind only gets called good. The doctor that made the observation 50 years ahead of the whole medical profession understanding what he meant, that nigga was excellent in his assessment. And all of the rest of those clammy motherfuckers were average. And because of their averageness, they didn't possess the capability, they didn't possess the scope of brain capacity to understand this excellence. So years later, after he's died, after all these people have died out of the willful ignorance, so we'll call that stupidity, of the medical profession, when people finally recognized that guy as correct, they were like, wow, what he was saying was really good. No, it wasn't good, it was excellent. Average people looking at superior excellence of I don't know, critical analysis skills, of talent, of art. They see exceptionality and they call it, they call it, ooh, that's good. It's great. But you wouldn't know great if it bit you in the face. So, episode 31 was very much about this vibrational thing. New level living is what it's called. New level living. The Wyann's words of wisdom there being, only people beneath you can bring you down. Only the people who are already beneath you can even bring you down. Notice there's a level there. There's levels. If someone is bringing you down, where do you think they are? To the right of you? What's the song Brandy was singing on Kanye's album? I always knew that one day they try to bring me down, way down, way down, way down. Oh, I'm listening to her in my head, my bad. But yeah, I always knew that one day they tried to break me down. Oh, they said break me down. Whatever. Break me down, bring me down, whatever the fuck. If they can do it and pull you down, they were already beneath you to start. So the question is, why were they your friends? Why were they that close to you? These are questions to ponder. Again, this year we fine-tuning. All of us are magnets attracting everything that's happening to this life with us, in us, by us, for us. All the shit that we're seeing, we're either consciously, like knowingly, bringing it into our space, or we are unconsciously bringing it into our space. But there's no question about whether we're bringing it into our space. Okay? So you can either start living the life you've always imagined on purpose, or you can keep throwing out willy-nilly vibes and getting willy-nilly results, and then you'll blame the rest of the world for all your issues. Up to you. It's up to you. My final episode that I think most directly talks about this topic is episode 34, poignantly called Pimps and Hoes. World is filled with pimps and hoes. And that's what we talked about, just the ones we know. Yellow. In love culture, which you see I have my merch on. Shouts out to Amy S. at Custom Ink Yellow. Hello. Um, my champion brand collabo merch that we created here um, talks about what this episode 34, Pimps and Hoes, kind of speaks to. Um, the Wyann's Words of Wisdom, that episode was simply called Rockets Up on These Hoes. If you ever come to Love Tuesdays, that's when we get on my IG Live on Tuesdays. Um, that's like one of the slogans that we kind of ended up coming up with. And the Rockets Up on These Hoes means that we ascend beyond low level energy. In love culture, we call low level energy hoe energy. I always tell people, remember back when Diddy was doing like making the band and stuff like that. He kept saying, no bitch assness, no bitch assness, and it didn't matter if, I don't care how you identify. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care what part of the earth you came from. None of that matters. You have energy that you want to stay away from. And he coined that term, no bitch assness. They used to have shirts back in, oh man, when was that? Like 2014, this was big. And they kept saying, you can't sit with us. You can't sit with us. You know what I'm saying? You'll notice that anytime I have you guys on this podcast, or if we're on Love Tuesdays, if anytime we're together in the Love Lounge at all for Love Culture, I consistently say, share this with the friend that you want to go up with. Dope energy only, though. Dope vibes only. I don't give a fuck if it's my music, Been in it a minute, my album. Share it with people. Only the dope ones, though. What's the second song on my album? Dope game, dope game. That's your favorite song too. Shouts out to Boomer. Boomer did it. But no, dope game. You understand? Like we do, man, good vibes only. But that's hella used. Our way of saying that is rockets up on these hoes. It's our non-corny positivity slogan. So when we see a hoe, we just understand what it is. We don't stoop to your level. But what is this whole podcast called? Rockets up on these hoes. It connotes another level. Shit, that kind of denotes that there's another level. The level means I am ascending whatever your descending energy is on. You're down and going lower. I'm going to understand that you're there. I'll look at you, recognize that you are there, but don't fault me for not being there with you. The most powerful statement in the English language is I am. I am simply means I exist. This is where I be. You understand? I am this thing. And shit, as a result of that, you got to be careful what you put on the other side of the word am. I'm a math teacher. You guys know, some of you know that I've been a math teacher for years. Equal sign is the word am. I equal whatever you put on the other side of that is dangerous. Even if it's positive, I am happy. If you equal happy, where do you leave space for yourself to grieve when you're sad? Where do you leave space for yourself to feel anger? And anger can sometimes be the self-protectant bully from other more detrimental emotions like depression, like self-hate. You need it all. You need it all. So I am, period. Allow that to be, you know? Damn, I don't know how I missed that one. There's a whole Wyann's Words of Wisdom on allowing. It was episode 8. I know that because I wanted Rants to be on it. It was in 2019. But it was like AA meeting. Allowance and acceptance or something like that. I can't see the second word. Fudge. I can't see it. Don't worry about it. But level 8. Episode 8. was AA meeting, which is allowance and something else. But on that one, we kind of talked about the vibration piece to this culture of love that we all have created as well. Once again, the top of 2021 would have been episode 27. I can guarantee it. January 2021, that's episode 27. I cannot remember what that one was called. But don't worry about it. The reality is, I had the masterminds on that episode to talk about boundaries. It's a very, very good episode for you to visit so that you know for yourself where you are versus where you aren't. That helps you know your level. It helps you create a knowledge of the note that you're on. So if somebody wants to sing with you, they know how to make harmony. They know when to match you and become your unison. You know what? I'm calling an audible. I had something that I was going to do right here, but that wasn't one of the segments in this show of my podcast. I do 3 segments of 5 that I generally have, and where I was going to do a ditties, which I might still do. Because the what's my motherfucking name is one of the break it down. So I have to keep that. So, okay. Check me out. Raise them up. I'm totally making this up on the fly. So let me just actually put it right here. RAISEM up exclamation point. This raise them up I have in my head because my sister just talked about this on Susie, our second angel. Susie Q had a birthday on Christmas Eve's Eve. So this was December. Happy belated, well, no, happy birthday. We celebrated your birthday in here. So we you know we love you, girl. So my sister Wendy came in here and we had a talk. She talked about knowing that when you're existing in this life, one philosopher, I guess you can call him a philosopher, he's just kind of looking at life. This dude was on The Secret. He officiated Maurice White from Earth, Wind & Fire's funeral proceedings. I know his name. It's going to come. I see it. Hold up. Michael Beckwith, this gentleman's name. He's a pastor of a church called Agape in Culver City. At least if that's where, that's where we were for the funeral. I don't know if that's his home church. But this gentleman, Michael Beckwith, talks about 4 ways of living life. And I just think it makes more sense to kind of just throw this in right here, right now, regarding all of this vibrational fine tuning. According to him, you can believe that life happens to you, from you, by you, or as you. Life is happening. And people, we understand life. We see life as happening either to us, from us, by us, or as us. This was so effective. I think I wrote it down that night and I sent it to you guys, but I haven't looked at it since. So I'm going on about a month old notes. That's why it's smart to write things down. Great minds write things down immediately. And within 5 minutes, they attempt to teach it. So I sent it to you guys, then I sent it to Track the same night. And but it made me look over the information and talk about it. And with Andre Mego earlier, I talked about it. So the people who believe life happens to them generally take on a victim mindset. People who believe that life happens to them generally take on a victim mindset. I'm interpreting what each of those levels mean. All I learned from Michael Beckwith through my sister Wendy was those 4 levels. So now everything that you're about to hear is my raising you guys up. It's raising all of us up so that, I give the jewels that I get in the Wyann way. That's what a raise them up is. So there's a victimization mindset that goes on when we talk about life happening to you. Number two, when life happens from you, these are my, what I call manifestation junkies. I can manifest that, and I can manifest this. I'll manifest that, and it's more ego involved than one understands, than maybe one initially even gives it credit for. Ego, I'm going to do an episode. I threatened this last year. It just didn't happen naturally, so it's going to happen this year. There's going to be an episode where we kind of break down to understand, not break down to hurt, but break down to understand the ego. I generally on this podcast, I'm just outing myself. I think I shine a negative light on the ego, but that's not what the ego fully is. And there's going to be an episode where I dedicate just to apologizing to the ego. I think we might even call it Dear Ego, I'm sorry. But we'll figure it out. But the idea being, for the people who feel life happens from them and they manifest this, and I can make this happen, I make that happen, I make this happen. These individuals are usually highly successful even. Like, it's not a matter of success or not success. It's a matter of how much you enjoy the life you've made for yourself. Biggie didn't tell us that more money makes more problems for no reason. All right. Me and Ninth had a talk years ago now where we were discussing broke people problems versus rich people problems. And everybody who ain't never had a lot of money, Mike Tyson actually was on someone's podcast, and I caught him saying, if your greatest aspiration is to have a lot of money, it tells me you've never had a lot of money. One of the most paid and well-known athletes of my day, Mike Tyson, said, if your greatest aspiration is to have a lot of money, then it tells me you've never had a lot of money. I know that with more money comes more problems. And so Ninth was explaining it like, you got to think, when we don't have a lot, our biggest issue is how do we pay the light bill? It's like, who's going to put gas in the car? When you have a lot of money, it's, nigga, I don't feel like going to work today. But when you make that decision, you don't realize that people's families won't eat. There are people literally counting on you. I heard from the Joe Budden podcast, they were covering a story on Steve Harvey, who said, I would love to do stand-up comedy, but I can't risk being canceled. Do you know how many people I feed? Not just his employees. He's talking about his employees, his whole families, So the reality is, the manifestation junkies, that's just my term, have more ego to this life. And while they might end up having a lot of success, that success doesn't come with its own price. That's not me, that's physics. Everything in this life has an equal and an opposite reaction. So there you go. On to the third. Life happens by me. Life happens by me. For some reason, I told Mago this earlier, I imagine a running river and this gorgeous white long-haired stallion or mare, like this just beautiful, majestic horse. And you're going with life and you're flowing with life. And you have a say in how you run your life. You are the horse. Life is the river. It takes turns, it takes tumbles, and it always flows. It doesn't stop, it doesn't end, it just flows. The horse finds its way to gallop freaking gallantly, if that's going to be the word I'm going to use today. But it's going to be graceful, going along side by side with life. There's no problem with that, but there's a separation of what I call church and state. But no, there's a separation of you as your human self, and then spirit, universe, life, all of the rest of everything else going on. There's a separation there. You keep a little distance. That's what I see when I think of life happening by you. And then finally, life happens as you. Imagine now if life is that running river. You're not the horse galloping by it. You are a leaf plopped into that river that happened to experience autumn from a nearby tree, and you're just going and flowing along with that river. I think in a way that's still the by. Imagine the difference if that leaf were to ever absorb itself into the river and become the hydrogen, oxygen that makes water. Literally being the flow, being the river. If you've seen Lucy, it's a kind of like a sci-fi movie, if you will, starring Scarlett Johansson. She gets some superpower thingy in her, and she starts using more and more and more of her brain, because it's said that the average brain, a genius uses like 6%, 10%. So as she's using 20%, 80%, 40%, you're seeing this whole progression throughout the movie. Spoiler alert if you've never seen Lucy. By time she reaches 100% of her brain capacity, she disappears. She's no longer experiencing life as a form from life. She just becomes life. And I always think of that depiction of consciousness when I hear that last version of how you can live life. You can live as life. So there's not a black problem and a white problem. There are problems. There's not a, might be triggering, but there's not a Black Lives Matter or an All Lives Matter. It's just that certain things matter. It's not that we should be a certain way to people on a certain playing field and a different way to other people on a different playing field. It's just that we should be good, be heroic, be resilient, be positive, be accepting, be understanding, be. Word to common, maybe? I don't know. Like, we are supposed to be. And as a result of those four things, some people decide that life happens to them. Others say that life happens from them. Others still say that life happens by them. And a fourth sect of people say that life happens as them. These are four different ways for you to conceptualize your own life. Which way is correct? Which way is it? I don't know. I think that's a personal question that requires a personal, critical analysis, and then a decision from that person. No outside individual should be able to choose those options for me. I don't care which you pick. When the consequences, because in this life we can choose anything. We can choose to identify any way. We can choose to be any way. We can choose any job. We can choose anything. What you cannot choose are the set of consequences that will derive from your decision. You can choose the choice. That was very redundant, but you cannot choose the consequence. All right? So I hope that maybe helped. I hope that maybe informed some of you about how this life is with you vibrationally and where you decide you want to be, a victimization happening in the mind where life happens to you, victims get a lot of attention, and sometimes people really care for those types of individuals. However, you are always seen as powerless, and it will always be a somewhere to blame living that sort of a lifestyle. My manifestation junkies, if life happens from you, guess what? You can ascertain, attract to you any and all of the things that you want. And as a result, you might have some of the most stress, and all of the ailments that I can think of in this life either are caused by or exacerbated by stress. So good luck with that. When life happens by you, I see a flip-flop happening. I see you going with the flow and life being able to flow and rock with you while you get to rock and flow with life. I also see that there could be times where you are looking for life to look a certain way and go a certain way, and it does so kind of contrarily from something that you're looking to experience. Once again, looking at that horse and looking at that river on land, that horse and his track of going with life, flowing with life by the river of life, he has to do a few tricks and turns and different things. What happens when that water goes free fall off of a cliff? That horse can't go. So there's going to be a different set of actions required. There's going to be a different experience for that horse before it can catch back up with the flow of life and just go how it was going effortlessly. So I think that there's a sense of autonomy, though. There will be a sense of ownership that one might enjoy. So therefore, the ego may feel satiated. However, that last one, though. No. Let me say this. That ego may feel satiated. However, supplying that ego and feeding its journey versus the journey of life, that's like trying to serve two different masters. And I think that road will get trickier for you than you recognize. That's what I will say about people where life, you live by life as opposed to anything else. And then that final one, living life as life. Life happens as you. I see you surrendering to the vibe and allowing all that life has to offer you to just go, to grow and go right along with it. That's what I see, you know? And guess what? That's a beautiful place to be. That's a beautiful place to be. I see the drawback, the consequence. There are going to be times where to go with the flow of life, your ego may take a blow. Then you have to decide whether you're going to, nah, fuck that. I gotta be, this is the way I roll. Or if when you sit and get real quiet and the universe, God, Allah, the great spirit, whoever you believe in, when they start giving you divine direction to go a certain way, you buck up. You give pause to what they're saying because it's an ego blow. What if God tells the CEO, hey, I need you to donate 1/10 of your money a day? Only 10 days though. 1/10 of your money every time I ask you to. that would be for Christians a tithe. And I know a lot of Christians that be like, I love me some Jesus, but I don't do the tithe. One woman told me, I don't do the tithe. I was like, excuse me? I mean, I love being Christians, but I don't really do the tithe. I was like, you right, I'm a gain person more. Badoonch. Those were two different washing detergents, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, but yeah, no. The big vibe is, ladies and gentlemen, no pun. The big vibe is whichever and however you choose, recognize that there will be consequences that you don't get to choose. And make your choice and let it be your choice. Own your shit this year, man. How about that? Let's own our shit, bro. Whatever choices you make, I don't care what you decide to identify as it and keep it pushing. What I tell somebody the other day, I said, if you made it to 2022, you are privileged. As a black woman, I don't want to hear anything about white privilege no more. I don't want to hear anything about pretty privilege, gay privilege. I don't want to hear anything about anything anymore. And I say that because I'm exhausted from it, first off. But I say that secondly because COVID killed Trump and Obama supporters. Boom bap. It killed rich and poor people, old and young. The most recent deaths I know is someone in their late 70s and a dude I used to go to school with who was a firefighter. He was 41. Strong as an ox. Still don't know why. The reality is, if you've made it to 2022, your life is privilege. It is privileged. You did not earn the breath you're complaining with. So if you can still complain in 2022, ladies and gentlemen, then that's just who you've decided that you are. And if you've decided to be a complainer, baby, I'm not going to change nothing about how I live, how I speak, how I believe, or anything else. Yes, this is directly to you, cancel culture, or anybody else that looks for other people to change who they are for you to feel okay about yourself. Fuck that and fuck you. How about that? How are we not just owning our shit this year? You want a seat at the table? Then keep fighting your whole life for a seat at a table where someone has historically tried to deny you. There's another philosophy that says you can build a different table. There were people differently abled who looked at the Olympics and said, I don't have both my feet. I can't run in that race. I don't have feet. I can't run in that race. I don't have, and I can't. And then it took somebody that said, hey, but guess what we can do? And then the Special Olympics was created. And it got popping for itself. And I respect the Special Olympics just like I respect the Olympics. They built their table, bro. They weren't disabled. They were differently abled. That's different. Okay? All of us have that type of capability. Oh, I'll say that in my. No, I'll say it now. My PPP scheme of 2022: profit, pleasure, and not purpose. I said that to Mike Walls and his queen the other day, and I felt like, damn it, I said the wrong P for the last one. It's profit, pleasure, and peace. This year, everything I do will bring me a mixture of profit, pleasure, and peace. Talking about another motherfucker's life and their lifestyle does not bring me profit, pleasure, or peace. Arguing with y'all about how somebody else should live does not bring me profit, pleasure, or peace. Wanting to be, someone screaming to be recognized by me, who the fuck am I? But someone screaming to be recognized by me does not bring me profit, pleasure, or peace. I don't acknowledge people because they've asked me to acknowledge people. I acknowledge people. Period. Not because you're gay, not because of your pronoun, not because you're privileged, not because you're white, not because you're black, not because you're Christian, not because you're West Coast, not because you listen to hip hop. I just acknowledge people. Period. Humans, those guys. Bipeds, mammals. If you break them down to their genomes, they're like from the caucus, the negroids, or the mongrel. I'm talking about real anthropological shit, bro. Like that. That's who I fuck with. Yeah, I hope you guys took that. All that is a Raise 'em Up, where I give gems from the brain of Wyann. And now we get to the title of this mofo. What's my motherfucking name? R-U-L-E. Or, what's my motherfucking name? Snoop Doggy. Can you guys still hear it? It's still in the, I'm real Snoop Doggy. Dog. And I'm real Doggy. Dog. Shouts out to J-Rock of the Beat Junkies, because I think my brain puts music together like you mix. So that's what I'm thinking of right now. So, ladies and gents, the theme of this episode is going to be here in this Break It Down. Break It Down is where we uncover the genius of hip hop, either through its lyrics or through its culture. And this time we're just doing it through the culture of hip hop. Did you know that some of the top grossing artists in hip hop have the most songs addressing their names? Namely, Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg. I think they are the two artists. The last time I looked at this is years old information, but the last time I looked at it, they have some of the most songs on record talking about their names. Snoop Dogg, D-O-double-G, yeah, even on the song that I did for him, on the Boston Up soundtrack, I got no sticks, no seeds, more hoes than I need. And even when I'm wrong, I'm right. And ain't a thing that niggas say to me. I'm still Big Dizzle, O-double-G. I think there's no better life. No better life. Like literally that. I knew he would love it because I put his name in it. And that's how I got the placement. Ba-doom. But, Game Tie spell my name right. B-I-double-G-I-E. Heights out, lights out. Me and Caesar Leo. Let me spell my name one more time. Check it. It's the N-O-T-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow. You see where I'm going with this. And Hove. H to the is O, V to the is A. For shizzle, my nizzle used to dribble down in VA. Bro, you can go back. There are so many songs with these people's names. The biggest of all of these was Eminem. Now, mind you, I'm looking at a particular article that I was reading on Eminem. Ladies and gentlemen, Eminem and almost any other white rapper will almost always be called the top of whatever some chart is, simply because they speak to a wider audience. Wider can homonym. You can use that homonym as wide as you'd like, not just wider but whiter audience. And buying power, which puts things and drives things up charts, yeah, all of that kind of goes hand in hand. So Eminem, I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the Slim Shady, all you other Slim Shadys is just imitating. So you get a bunch of these songs, these rappers with their names in their songs. And they reiterate their names in their songs. I think about one of the loves who actually belongs to my guy Mars's crew, but his name is Y Dizzle. And I remember, what's up, Y Dizzle? I remember when I first ever addressed him in text on IG, I had only put 2 Z's in his name, like the word sizzle, drizzle, stupid Snoop. I can't say. Don't change the dizzle, turn it up a little. Got a living room full of fine dime brizzles. I'm like in my head, sorry, Y Dizzle. But Y Dizzle made sure he let me know he's the Y with 5 Z's. Y Dizzle with 5 Z's. You think about Anderson, he say, I don't care if you call me Anderson Pack or Pac, just don't forget the dot. Because y'all slept on me so long, I need y'all to pay attention to me now. And you're going to show me that you pay attention to me by putting that fucking dot in between the Anderson and the Pac. My boy Mickey Facts, I think someone wrote his name with an S at the end. And he was like, my boy, I know you didn't write me with an S at the end of my name and you know it's a Z. Mickey Facts. Like, standing up for your name, for what you're called, it takes balls. It takes balls. Courage is the way I'll say that without, using the slang. It takes courage. It takes the positive version of ego. It's like self-protecting, like you standing up for yourself. That's the positive version of ego, one of the positives of ego. And it takes you recognizing that, hey, yo, I took time to design how I am called. And I don't just answer to anything. I have a standard for myself. Kind of goes back to that boundaries thing. I have a standard for myself. So when people say, Wyann, I'm like, or Wyann. Put the ass on the and, Wyann, just like me. Yellow. Say something funny so people remember, And somebody was calling me, oh, so why ass? I was like, bro. Or how about the why yams? I actually like that one, I'm not gonna lie. Don't y'all get cute. But yeah, but the Wyann, like Diane, I say that to people a lot and help people learn how to pronounce my name because my name is for the most part, a one of one. I'm usually the only Wyann someone knows, the only Wyann in their contacts. So I'm not going to be a dick about it and be like, I'm sorry, but, oh, is it Wyann? Wyann, okay? Spell it. Look at how it's spelled. Bro, nobody knows my name. And don't nobody in this world owe me shit. That's the other side of it. Nobody owes you a motherfucking thing. So if someone takes the time out to even show you interest in learning you, they're a whole human being with real life problems that they're probably never going to tell you about. They have a whole life. If they've taken a slice of their life out to hear you repeat your name, to try to help understand your name, be thankful. What is this living life as life? Just roll with it. Just live with it. You understand? However, making sure someone understands your name is living by life. Ooh, that's deep. Because you want to make sure you are understood. Not just, oh, you can call me anything. I'll go with the flow of life. There's a poem by, I think it's a poem by James Baldwin that said, I'm not your nigger. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're going to call me a nigger, I'm not your nigger. Say word. I was like, okay, let's talk. But recognizing that there is importance in your name is, one, a part of those boundaries. 2, it helps distinguish you from a crowd. 3, it shows that you have a sense of pride in what you've taken time to call yourself. It's also important in this space for me to say, we should be more selective about what we answer to. My dad tells a story when, quote unquote, the rappers started partying out in Hollywood and stuff like that, where he would be with like all of the, 70s cats and stuff like that. But as the decades went by, that dad was still partying. That's hilarious. Anyways, he'd be out in Hollywood, doing whatever. And one guy told him one day, he said, "Hey, watch this, Wayne, watch this. Hey, yo, bitch." And this girl and her two friends just turned around. "Oh, me?" He's like, "Yeah, come here." She walked over to him. And he was like, "See, that's how you get at these girls today. You don't even got to know their names. You just did it." And dad was just like, "Oh shit, I have 3 daughters." You know what I'm saying? Like, what's gonna happen in this life? He came home fast. Y'all bet not ever turn around and somebody honks a horn or calls you a bitch. And I'm like, "Dad, what did you think?" I think it messed him up so bad because he knew that, number one, those were like some pretty girls. Those are somebody's daughters. Like, I'm sure he would have wanted for that situation to have gone differently, looking at, that through dad eyes as he was at the time. But there's a very, very few things that I would hope any of us answer to. When I can't think of one of my kids' names, what are they? Child of God. I'll call you that quickly. I'll call you honey, baby. But in our culture, we just call loves. Everybody is. I call people what I want to see more of. Everybody got love in them, so why not just directly speak to the love in you? Hey, love. Since the first day I did this, hey loves, hey loves, hey love. Second podcast, I think, is the first time I did it. But yeah, the first episode I started talking mess immediately. That was a great episode. But so yeah, even in our culture, we call it love culture. I call y'all loves because it's what I want to see more of. So I just feel it's really important to consider what we call ourselves and what we decide to answer to in this life. Okay. So I just wanted to bring that to our attention in this Break It Down, where we uncover genius through hip hop culture. That was what we just did right there. There's 2 do-I-ditties today, ladies and gentlemen. One is going to be at the end of this episode, just because I really, really love this song off of my album. And it's one of the songs that I listen to first thing in the day. It's called Philosophy Part 2. Our beautiful Sndtrak, lovely Aquarian energy that he is. He produced it with co-production with Boomer Did It and myself. Even Chris Caden had played Rhodes on there. And it features my baby brother Waren, my little sister Whitney on backgrounds, and my dad Waren Vaughn with a synth solo at the end. So this is a near and dear to my heart song on my album. This song manifested a result. I called this song, when I started writing it, my breakup song with the college where I was working. I could tell that a part of my energy was outgrowing where I was based on some incidents that happened in last year. And I said, the problem is I have to choose me. I have to choose me, is what I was telling probably Onette, who's sitting right back there. But that was one of my biggest things with this particular song. And I say in the verse, day after night doing the same old things. I just felt like my whole life was a loop. It felt lifeless. I could teach someone Pythagorean theorem or break down microaggressions and all of it. Me in my head, nigga, that's easy money. I'm one of the smartest people I know. You understand? Not the smartest, but I also know, unfortunately, how low the bar is set because no one thinks anymore. Hello. What I tell my students, I says, damn, y'all want to know all the answers, but y'all don't want to learn shit. Y'all want to know. You don't want to learn. It's interesting. So, because I'm so brilliant, by way of my own assessment in my brain. When you put me in my head and make me work only out of my head, I am cakewalking. It is me sleepwalking through life. And I looked at that and said, I'm not happy. So I say in the verse, that's day after night doing the same old thing. Trying to get it right, getting by, but with the same routine. Here I play a song, which was this song, the beat. I play a song and it becomes my favorite remedy again. It's like I've been here before. I've been to this place where I have to choose. You guys know I call myself an edutainer. I choose between my education and my entertainment side. Trust and believe me, I love being an educator. I love being an educator. I just think where I was and what I was doing and the ideologies that were being pumped were no longer aligning with who I was. Once again, we are fine tuning this year and we're owning our shit. This is me owning my shit. So I play a song. It becomes my favorite remedy again. My favorite friend. Old music. I feel at home when I'm catching a vibe, feeling the high levels. And I've been away too long. Boy, this was meant for me. Now, I hate to disappoint anybody because me choosing this means, what is the one thing I say? One yes is a million no's. You choose left, you don't go right, up, or down. You choose north, you don't go south, east, or west. You see what I'm saying? I don't care what you choose. Whatever you choose, when you choose it, there are a lot of other things that are left in its wake. I think they said the root word of decision means to forsake all others. You decide on this one thing, you forsake any other and every other option. I've been away too long. This was meant for me. Now, I hate to disappoint anybody, but if this ain't you, AKA if this, what I just said, this music, my friend, this vibration, this high, this song shit, if this ain't you, then bro, I am sorry. I am living life my way. I know that's not perfect, but I sure as shit can't be fake. I make mistakes. We all do. You fix what you can and pray it all falls through. Waren comes in and said, because when it all falls through, it's going to be for me and it's going to be for you. The best will happen for both parties. And ladies and gentlemen, that's just what happened. The college chose policies that didn't align with what Wyann needed for Wyann. So that chorus, and I choose you, I gotta do that now, and I choose you, I wouldn't be here without it. There ain't no doubt about it. I put all of my money on you. I bet on myself, bro, and I chose me. And by doing that, there was a departure, and, there could be a return to that college, or any education facility for that matter. But Fat Joe's words, yesterday's price is not today's price. That applies here. So that's where that song came from. That's a little breakdown of what it is and what it means. And I look forward to you all hearing that song at the end of this episode. Produced by Sndtrak, co-produced with me and Boomer Did It, with some keys being played by Rhodes being played by Chris Cadenhead. Dad is on the end with the solo. Baby Sis and Baby Bro are also featured on this song. One of my favorite things. I learned to wake up every day inspired. Wyann's words of wisdom. We getting out of here, y'all. Wyann's words of wisdom. We're going to start it with a poem from my book. Right out. Ooh, girl, I took that money out and now I don't have my place. How I do that? Shouts out to IMTJ Wilkins for tipping me right before I started taping. Because he didn't buy a love badge in the Love Lounge on IG. Girl, if you don't turn that... Okay. There goes the other dollar. My bad, babe. Okay. This poem is called Mask. I am hiding behind my mask. It is such a safe space to be. I got it all together back here. Nobody's fake but me. Here I'm hiding behind my mask as I sing my simple song. It's rehearsed and so well versed, I bet you even know it. So sing along while I hide behind my mask, masquerading all the tears that I've turned into jest and passing tests created through the years. Let me hide behind my mask, not desiring to be found or be picked apart at the heart just because you like the sound. I'm hiding behind my mask because it's what's safest for me. I don't need to feel broken and I don't need to be spoken to, so please just let me hide behind this mask here. It's where I feel so real, behind this makeup that I cake up. Man, you don't care how I feel. I am better here, behind my mask. Oh, but if you pose as friend, well, then my edges may peel until it proves too real, and here I'll plaster them up again. You can't handle me. Just let me hide behind my mask. Please. I love that for the entire poem. She's saying, I'm hiding behind my mask, and that's what I'm doing because it's so safe, and I'm going to hide behind here. But at the same time, she's begging you to allow her to keep hiding, as if the real her is trying to speak for herself. It's like the living by as opposed to living as. But it brings up something that I told Ish from the Joe Budden podcast at That's That Ish on Instagram. I had a beautiful exchange with this dope ass podcaster. And on episode 503, I believe that it is. 2 or 3. No, 3. 503 that just came out on this past Wednesday. They were talking about a situation with particular celebrities and a messy breakup that could be said. It could be said that an individual is using their kid and kids as leverage to annoy, harass, stalk is a loaded word, but possibly that the other partner within the union of the people who are no longer having a great relationship. And that's that Ish, aka Ish of the Joe Biden podcast, was saying, bro, you can't play victim and volunteer at the same time. That's like trying to, this is my words, that's like trying to throw the rock and hide the hand, in a sense, But I told Ish earlier, bro, I'm listening to you on this episode today. You are fucking I said effing killing this topic, victim versus volunteer. I'm addressing it on my pod when I tape later. Heavens. And I put all the rockets up, as you guys know I do. Man told me, stop stealing my flow. Give me my royalties. I said, LOL, of course that's what you write back. Man, this is so much respect. I said, nah, I'm going to tell you what I usually say about the same type of topic, which is folks don't know how to separate their person from their personas. In this industry especially, And I let him know, but I'm referencing you when I tape in a minute. I said in a minute, like 80 hours ago. That's so fucking funny. But anyways, ladies and gents, this industry, especially, I'm saying this as a, and when I say this industry, I'm talking about the entertainment industry. And I'm saying this as someone who was born into this entertainment industry from the balls and womb of two high going up entertainers at the times that they met. My mom and dad met on a world tour, the Brothers Johnson, where my dad was playing, I think he's playing eight keyboards, 6 or 8. It's something like that. You can go look at some of the video of the Brothers Johnson, and when they're playing, you just look at how many keyboards are around my dad. He could name them and tell you what all he was doing with them. And then, of course, mom was on the Emotions. And so they were touring with songs like mom and them were touring with, Best of My Love, Flowers, Don't Ask My Neighbor, all these different songs. I Don't Want to Lose Your Love, Blessed. They were doing their big songs. But Brothers Johnson was also doing some crazy deep songs like Get the Funk Out My Face or Stomp or Tomorrow Will Bring, before there were words to it, by the way. The words came later. The original Tomorrow from the Brothers Johnson is an instrumental, amazing track. But Strawberry Letter 21, all of these things. This is what dad was playing. So these two people met in their personas. They were in work mode. They were their brands when they met. They got together, got married, had a bunch of kids, and then now all of us, right? I'm the middle child of their 5. Because I've grown up in this industry, I've been able to see a lot of humans who happen to have, let's say, more money, more access, more financial freedoms in life, my whole life, since I was a kid. I just told you I was at Maurice White's funeral. He was like a goddad. Stevie Wonder's like an uncle. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get into the name drop space of this podcast, insert here. You guys know that Dr. Dre is a mentor to me. Ninth Wonder is a mentor to me. Terrace Martin is a big brother and mentor to me. Questlove is a great energy and a wealth of information. And anytime I get stuck when I'm being intellectually hip hop, I call him. Ali Shaheed Muhammad from A Tribe Called Quest, Ninth. DJ Premier, who's also, what does Dre call him? An almanac. Speaking of Dr. Dre, put the battery pack in my back. I live a very comfortable life because Dr. Dre assigned me to work on his show on Apple Music's Beats One back in 2015. And there's a lot of names I'm missing, like Exhibit, my big brother as well, and DJ Pooh, the Oracle. Ninth Wonder is the Oracle too, but DJ Pooh is like, man, he is so deep and dope. He's like a stealthy dope in this game, and I aspire to be like a few of these cats, DJ Pooh being one of them, big time. But sometimes Exhibit could, this is not him saying this is me using X as an example. And I say that because X in 2014, when I met him, introduced himself to me as Alvin. I clearly knew who he was. And he said, "Nice to meet you, I'm Alvin." That's a clear choice, talking about what's my motherfucking name. He has those songs too. Won't even say my own name when we come around X. Okay, let's go, X. Anyways, X to the Z Exhibit. Yeah, I love that. But anyways, X introduced himself as Alvin to me. Cardiac Flame, who Joe Budden loves, introduced himself to me as Carl. when we first met in the studio. So like he was like, no, I'm Carl. I'm Carl. Actually, Questlove said, if you don't call me Amir, call me Amir, please. Like, so it's really interesting to watch of these titans. I call all these gentlemen titans, and the ladies too. Shouts out to Yo Rhapsody, who definitely said, "Oh, girl, I'm Marlana." I mean, if you want to call me Marlana, you know what I'm saying? Like just out the gate in 2013. Some people can toggle between recognizing when they're being their stage name or their real name. It's really important for the individual, him or herself, to figure out in what circumstances it's important to be themselves as their person versus themselves as their persona. Because truly, especially touching on the topic that the Joe Budden podcast was talking about earlier, yesterday, when I was listening to it as it came out, bro, you can have all the money in the world and still be corny. We're ladies in here tonight. Hey, gents, some of y'all got all the wealth, the money, the assets, the crypto, the mansion, and your dick is small. Still. Hello? Dollar? And I'm not saying that because I want to intentionally hurt anyone's feelings. I'm just saying that because life is life. Hey, some of your Insta models, your favorite Insta models that y'all want to talk to, they coochie stank. So sorry, so sad. Some of the people that you want to meet, I say this all the time, Drake's whole thing is meeting all your heroes is like seeing how magic works. It's not worth it sometimes. You love these individuals because you love their art, their music, what they seem to stand for, and then you meet them and they are the dickiest people you've ever encountered. And it's like, fuck, I can't even hear your music the same anymore. Truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, some of these entertainers spend more time in their brand, in their persona, than they do in their person. And it's unfortunate because they also keep around them a team of people who love them for their persona, not their person. Going back to the poem from Write Out, my book of poetry, there are certain people, they put the mask on and up because they've never really lived life without the mask. It's a part of the reason why I'm making jokes about my fingernails. If you're on YouTube, you guys can see these short ass fingernails. These are my fingernails. They're not short ass. They're my ass fingernails. But I've been wearing these, the album had just come out and there was a promo run and I was doing shows. So I kept these, gel extension or whatever. Shouts out to Pristine Nails and that's their name? Pristine Nail Spa. Or is it Pristine Nails? Yeah, both. Look at both. And I would keep these nails on just because it was just easier for me to keep going. But I intentionally wanted to start at the new year off with just me. It's the reason I sometimes go on Instagram live with makeup on, sometimes without makeup. All times usually nowadays with the filter because I just don't feel like it. But there are days when I do go without a filter. But my filters are like for the theme. If it's after dark, I put the stars behind me. If it's Love Tuesdays, now it's like the hearts and everything. But yeah, the reality is, again, speaking to the topic that the Joe Budden podcast was talking about, bro. Yeah, I've encountered some of your favorite names in the music and the entertainment industry at large since I was a little girl. And certain of these individuals know how to step into their humanness and what they are when they're not on a stage, and they're really, really confident and comfortable in their skin and who they are right there. And then there are other people who are working towards that. That's the positive way I'll say that. There are certain people who are working towards that. And let me just straight up inform you, bro. In the end of that poem, she says, you know, I'll sit here and hide behind my mask, but if you pose as a friend, then my edges may peel until it proves too real, and then I'll plaster them back up again. So there are certain times when these celebrities want to be more of who they are, own their shit, own their truth, be the full them. Oh, and sometimes that just gets too real. And I'm not saying that as a knock to the artists or the celebrities themselves. I'm saying that as a knock sometimes to the consuming public. Someone tries to be honest about who or what they are, some of y'all will crucify. Y'all will crucify a motherfucker trying to live in their truth. You know? Not talking about weirdo truth like violation of people's rights and stuff like that. I'm just talking about human moments. I don't want to give examples to convolute the topic. I'm just saying, shit, an artist goes to sing and they want to sing for real and not use, you know, I was gonna say auto-tune. They don't want to use auto-tune. And they sing well enough, but they mess up. Because guess what? In real life, we mess up. I was singing one of those songs earlier right now, and I just went sharp. And I know because of my ear that I went sharp. I'm a singer. I should know that. You know what I'm saying? I knew that I went sharp, but nigga, so I'm on a podcast singing on a random night at, I don't even want to look at what time it is in the morning. You know, you got your hood on. I'm over here trying to still look cute for this camera. Like my doggone forehead is so cold, it feels like it's frying. Okay, about to wrap this episode up. But no, I'm just saying that to say, we talked about this on one of the Love Tuesdays with Love Culture, and we discussed why some people don't own their full truth. And it's because sometimes viewing audiences only can throw the bricks back at celebrities that celebrities hand to y'all. We just talked about it. Y'all, most of y'all don't look to learn the celebrities you follow. You just know what they show you. So if all of my pictures are, you know, tuned up to where I look a certain thin, y'all don't know I'm actually over here eating Doritos, scratching my asshole, you know, whatever I do in my real life, bro. You think I'm an Insta honey every 10 seconds. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that I have to prep to be, you know what I mean? Like, y'all don't really learn these individuals. You just know what you know. And as a result, it's easy to hide. And if there's a day that they decide to be more honest or more real, they can sometimes be crucified. Again, edges peel until it proves too real, and then they plaster that mask right back up again. Then there's a flip side to that when celebrities and people in the limelight don't relinquish their mask. We have, what do they say? To know someone is to love someone. And sometimes I've heard certain artists, certain celebrities refer to themselves in third person, sometimes by jest and sometimes by habit. What would, I don't want to put any, because this is not to this person. And I think that it would be okay to use them, but my name is I don't know. I'm gonna pick on Sndtrak because it feels safe. My name is Sndtrak, and I'm in the Soul Council. And when I think of talking to something, I say, "What would Sndtrak do?" Because Sndtrak is a guy that Sndtrak. I don't know what Sndtrak does, but Sndtrak, and it's like, wait, what? who are you? Like, who are you talking about and to? You know what I'm saying? It can get really, really tricky and odd and weird. But I've just seen it, and I'm having to pick my friends and pick on my friends so that I don't accidentally, even with my subconscious knowledge, implicate anybody who actually does this. Again, some people do it in jest. Some people do it because they can't help it. They're so used to knowing what their brand version of themselves would do. They haven't consulted their actual selves in decades. Decades. You know? So if to know someone is to love someone, how do you learn to love something? You got to know it. How do you know something? Shit, you got to spend time with it to study it. Got to pick it apart, analyze it, research it. What they say, a master, you have to have 10,000 hours in something. If you haven't spent that type of time with yourself, love yourself, boy, you don't know yourself. And guess what? I don't gotta know myself to get on a track and start talking that shit and everybody fuck with me, or to get and hop on Instagram and just start taking off shit and now everybody love me. The mask, man. The persona gets all the attention. The person gets to hide, and no one inquires. No one looks in on the person to make sure he or she is okay. So there's a few things going on with that topic that I would pray that individuals, especially if you're a celebrity, I would pray that you keep people around you that know you, not the moniker you own and answer to. I hope people understand and know you. Because when real shit happens in life, you're going to want somebody to be in the corner rooting for you, not your fucking brand, you know? And once again, to the topic that the boys were talking about on the pod, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how decorated in any field you are. High vibrating is high vibrating and low is low. And you can do some low vibrating shit and try to call it high. But baby, the beautiful part about time is it reveals all things. And sometimes time don't even need a lot of time. Time like, oh no, give me 30 minutes. I got this. And time will reveal you for the bitch assness or the whole vibes that you got going on. No money can shield you from it. No plaques. No nothing. I'll leave this topic on this. Rants of 1500 Sound Academy. That's not true. Lawrence Dobson of 1500 or Nothing invited me in 2016 for like the 80th time, but the final time when we actually started working on the school, to create a school. They were calling it the 1500 or Nothing School, the 1500 or Nothing School. We did some fine tuning about what we wanted the school to look like, its purpose, literally down to every spec. Lawrence is an amazing visualizer. His visions are insane. And I recorded a lot of this along with a few other folks who are beautiful in the room. And when I took these notes from all these energies that were in this studio that day home, I wrote this stuff down. I maneuvered some things. I put some ideas in, and I says, you guys want this sound thing, 1500 or Nothing, but you want it to be sound, but not just sound with sound. You want it to be sound like well. Your spot is going to be called the 1500 Sound Academy. Like, bro, we, from the jump, this is what happened. I said, hey, I'm down with this so long as we do like emotional intelligence types of classes. And I'm saying that because they were talking about, and these guys are going to be the best. Oh, we're going to attract all the dopest musicians, the dopest people, the dopest. Again, my spidey senses started tingling because I know when you start talking about talent, It takes hours and hours to cultivate that talent. And you can't be two places at once in one time. What I just said a second ago, one yes is a million no's. So if you are a savant in your talent, you might have some self-development skills that need some honing. And I said, I don't want to be a part of the place that dishes out talented assholes. So I want to be able to talk about honing in the ego. Rance was like, of course. Oh, of course. Because we don't do that because Rance is so humble and sweet. So he was just talking about the dope stuff, thinking that, oh, yeah, because everybody's going to be. And it's like, we'd hope. Everybody ain't like you, bro, but we hope. So literally, when I'm on this pod, before I ever made a pod, it's into 2016, I have always understood the value of taking care of someone as a person and not placing a whole bunch, all of the eggs in the basket on the side of a person's persona. I hope I illustrated that well. Shouts out to the Joe Budden podcast and Ish for entertaining my crazy ass earlier today. And before I go, Dave gets my choruses. Shouts out to Pristine Nails, Glendale. I feel like I'm gonna find your real name because you guys deserve an actual shout out. If anybody has loved my nails for the last few episodes, know that at Pristine Nails Glendale, Pristine Nails Glendale, all spelled correctly. Please make sure you let my girl Diane know that you have listened to this crazy podcast and now you want the gel extension beautiful things that she gave me, and she will get you right. Of course, you guys know I love the do more than you ever knew. And today I did a braid out. But I didn't just do a braid out of my cousin Maya Smith's products. This woman, if you're on YouTube, you can see this boom box where this woman sent me her shampoo, deep conditioner, mousse def, as well as one of her detail little, what is it called? Tweenie? The Tweenie Pros and stuff like that. But it's an easy style and detangling curls of all types and textures. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. This is for Dave. That's for Dave right there. Oh, I knew that. Yep, you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, wash day in a box, baby. Cleanse, hydrate, and style your hair with my cousin, CEO and founder of the Do, Maya Smith's products in this very limited edition styled up boom box. All right, this is her styling kit that's out now, and you have to know, OMG, cosmetologist approved, licensed to ill. I love this branding of this woman. Cousin, damn, you're with a demo. You can do the QR code and find the demo. Whoa, that is so. We'll do this after. That is so. And it says, do you in the middle. Cousin, this is really fucking fly. I love you so much. Thank you for that. And just know, Yo-Yo, we're coming to do some dope brand collab stuff with the Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop. My cousin hit me earlier and wanted to make sure I shouted you out and said that to you. So that's at Yo-Yo Fearless online. She's been in a lot of the Love and Hip Hop LA or Hollywood, whichever they call it. But shouts out to her and that whole platform. Hair by Quista, don't worry. My edges, these are not my edges. My ends are going to need clipping soon, so you'll see me sooner than later. I've just been trying to give this hair a little break. Hey, my hair feels good though, no lie. Look, I'm doing all this like I forgot we were still taping. I don't know what this shit's gonna look like after I done fluffed it all out. So, you can run over to YouTube, see if my hair looks like Shaka Khan or not. It looks good. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen. So at I Love the Do, ILOVETHEDOUX. That is right there for my cousin's product. Of course, I shouted out my girl Diane at Pristine Nails Glendale, all spelled correctly and put together. If you don't know how to spell that, just say it into your phone. Also, make sure that you're picking up feature presentation that is by at I am TJ Wilkins. It is his album, his debut album. R&B is not dead. I guess that's like the whole, like, everybody's been saying, oh, R&B is this and that. And shouts out to Tiffany Goucher and Kenny Got Soul, Kenyon Dixon, because they've been really, Kenyon, he's been going ham with motherfuckers behind all y'all talking shit on R&B. Look, I'm a hip-hop girl. I sing, but I am a hip-hop girl. So when I hear the R&B people going through their shit, I'd be like, y'all just better, you just keep on, just keep running. You understand? Just keep on fighting it. You understand? Fighting the good fight. But I'm a person that likes to focus on the solution, not the problem. So if you think R&B needs a facelift and it needs saving, quote unquote, or if you just want to experience something fly, at I am TJ Wilkins, TJWILKINS. This is the same at I am TJ Wilkins on Twitter from The Voice. He was on Team Usher and worked with a bunch of people, including like Jill Scott. I had to look at him funny in the light, like, hey, I know she's sexy. That's over with, right? No, I'm messing with you. He never touched Jill Scott. And Jill Scott never probably would ever touch him at that time, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, and that's not a knock to you, TJ. That's just, that's a credit to the queen. You understand? But just saying, he's no novice to the world of R&B. Tours with the brothers meaning the Jacksons, and is a part of a legacy act as much as I'm a part of a legacy act with the Emotions. So family groups and legacy is kind of both of our things. Please make sure you go out and support that. If you see the album cover, my cousin Caleb Carter at KB Custom Clothing, at KBC Custom Clothing, at KBC Custom Clothing altogether. Caleb Carter, my cousin, is who styled TJ. So, gentlemen looking for a very fly, dapper, kind of look. My cousin has styled not only my boy TJ Wilkins. To break the fourth wall, he's my boyfriend too, guys. But my boyfriend TJ Wilkins, he's not only styled him, he's styled Ali Shaheed Muhammad and Adrian Young. Both of them together make up the Midnight Hour. Amazing artists. Done stuff for movies, different stuff. So check out my cousin if ever you guys feel so inclined. Also, at RAISEITUPWY is where you can find all things about this podcast. At WYANNA at Wyann on Instagram is where you can find Love Tuesdays. If you want all things Wyann, just to make it easy, always visit my website, WyannVaughn.com. You'll find out how to become a Love patron there, how to be a part of Love culture, how to tune in with us on Love Tuesdays, any of the love shit, which is my shit. You'll be able to come and get in with, if you are currently on any of the listening platforms or YouTube watching platform, just know you are loved just by sitting here listening to me rant and talk and be crazy with you. So if you want to meet your family and you want to come get your rockets fueled the fuck up to go all the way, as you would say, all the way up, then you make sure you come to Love Tuesdays, 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 9 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time schedule. And we go up for about an hour just to make sure that we don't leave these positive vibes in the airways for nothing. We practice what we preach around here. And ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned so you can hear some awesome vibes from my first album, my debut album, Been in It a Minute, with my boys and my family all on it. Feelosophy Part 2 is about to come at you in the year 2022. And as always, don't cat. Don't. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Raise it up, why? Raise it up. Hey, raise it up, why? Raise it up.
I learned to wake up every day and fight. I learned to wake up every day and fight.
Day after night, doing the same old things. Trying to get it right, getting by with the same routine. I play a song and it becomes my favorite remedy again. My favorite friend. I feel at home, catching the vibe, feeling the high. I've been away too long, this was meant for me. I hate to disappoint anybody, but if this ain't you, then sorry. I'm living life my way. I ain't perfect, but I can't be fake, you know. I make mistakes,
Make mistakes.
We all do. Fix what you can't, pray it falls through. I make mistakes. We all do. Fix what you can't, pray it falls through. Make mistakes. We all do. Fix what you can, pray it falls through.
Cause when it all falls through, it'll be for me and you, and I choose you.
Gotta do it now, and I choose you. Wouldn't be here without it. I choose you. No doubt about it. I put all of my money on you. I choose you.
I learned to wake up every day inspired, instead of lying bare through the fire. Call it burning desire to be a better me and take my conscience higher. Appreciate the pressure, that's what makes a diamond. Now I'm shining. I use my light to assist the blinded. The truth is what we need, but it's hard to find it. What it takes to succeed, please redefine it. And if the vision isn't vivid, gotta redesign it. It's lovely how we're giving gifts. The blessings come when you get used to it. I've gotten used to this. Feeling fulfilled, this feeling surreal. Finding peace through the chaos is a pivotal skill. All my work is gonna pay off, watch it turn into meal. So I'ma chill and focus on how I will build my new philosophy. A second chance to shake monotony. My worst mistake made me great, and that fulfilled the prophecy.